Bonnie and Clyde. Their names are etched in American folklore, synonymous with a reckless abandon that captivated a nation during the depths of the Great Depression. Their story, a whirlwind of love, crime, and violence, continues to fascinate and intrigue us decades later. But who were these two individuals behind the legend? What drove them to a life on the run, leaving a trail of bloodshed and chaos in their wake? Their tale is one of stark contrasts. Bonnie Parker, a petite, poetry-loving waitress, and Clyde Barrow, a brooding, impulsive young man, found themselves entangled in a world of crime that would ultimately seal their fate. Their love story, played out against the backdrop of dust storms, bank robberies, and desperate escapes, captured the imagination of a public struggling to survive. This essay delves into the lives of these infamous outlaws, exploring their motivations, their impact on American society, and the enduring fascination with their story. Bonnie and Clyde were products of their time, the Great Depression casting a long shadow over their lives. Poverty, unemployment, and a sense of hopelessness permeated the American landscape, pushing many to desperate measures. For some, crime became a means of survival, a way to strike back at a system that seemed to have abandoned them. Bonnie and Clyde's story, while undeniably romanticized, reflects this underlying desperation, highlighting the social and economic anxieties of an era. Their story is a cautionary tale, a reminder of the destructive power of desperation and the allure of a life outside the law. It's a story that forces us to confront the complexities of human nature, the blurred lines between good and evil, and the enduring power of myth-making in shaping our understanding of history. Join us as we unravel the Ballad of Bonnie and Clyde, a story that continues to resonate with audiences today. Bonnie Elizabeth Parker was born in 1910 in Rowena, Texas, a small town grappling with the harsh realities of rural life. Her father, a bricklayer, passed away when she was just 4 years old, leaving her mother to raise 3 children on her own. The family moved to Cement City, a suburb of Dallas, where Bonnie's mother worked tirelessly as a seamstress to make ends meet. Despite the hardships, Bonnie excelled in school, displaying a natural talent for writing and a passion for poetry. Her classmates described her as bright, charismatic, and full of life. She possessed a magnetic personality that drew people to her. Standing at just 4 feet 11 inches, she was known for her captivating smile and her love for dressing up. Despite her small stature, she exuded a confidence that belied her humble beginnings. However, life had other plans for the bright young girl. At the age of 16, she dropped out of school to marry Roy Thornton, a troubled young man with a penchant for petty crime. The marriage was short-lived and unhappy. Roy's criminal activities landed him in prison, leaving Bonnie to fend for herself. She found work as a waitress, but the drudgery of her daily life left her yearning for something more. The Great Depression had cast a long shadow over America, and Bonnie, like many others, felt the sting of poverty and disillusionment. It was during this tumultuous period, while working at a roadside cafe, that her life would take a dramatic turn. A chance encounter with a charismatic young man named Clyde Barrow would forever alter the course of her life. Clyde Chestnut Barrow, born in 1909 in Ellis County, Texas, was the 5th of 7 children in a poor farming family. The Barrows, like many others during this era, struggled to make ends meet. Seeking better opportunities, they moved to West Dallas, an impoverished industrial area plagued by crime and violence. Clyde's first brush with the law came at the tender age of 16 when he was arrested for failing to return a rental car. This seemingly minor offense marked the beginning of a downward spiral. Subsequent arrests for car theft and burglary revealed a pattern of escalating criminal behavior. Clyde, hardened by the harsh realities of his environment, embraced a life of crime with increasing fervor. Prison, far from serving as a deterrent, became a breeding ground for his criminal education. Behind bars, he honed his skills, learning from seasoned criminals and plotting his future exploits. Clyde's time in prison only intensified his resentment towards authority. He emerged more determined than ever to live life on his own terms, outside the confines of societal norms. With a burning desire for revenge against a system he felt had wronged him, Clyde assembled a gang of like-minded individuals, ready to unleash their fury on a society that had cast them aside. It was during this period, fueled by a potent mix of anger, ambition, and desperation, that Clyde's path would intersect with Bonnie Parker's, igniting a firestorm that would consume them both. In the winter of 1930, a chance encounter at a mutual friend's house in West Dallas brought Bonnie Parker and Clyde Barrow face to face. Bonnie, a petite, vivacious waitress with a love for poetry, was instantly smitten by Clyde's brooding good looks and rebellious charm. Clyde, on the other hand, was drawn to Bonnie's intelligence, her quick wit, and her undeniable beauty. Their connection was immediate and intense, a spark ignited amidst the bleak backdrop of the Great Depression. The circumstances surrounding their first meeting are shrouded in conflicting accounts and romantic embellishments. Some versions depict a love-at-first-sight scenario, while others suggest a more gradual development of their relationship. Regardless of the specific details, one thing is certain: their bond was forged in a crucible of shared experiences, fueled by their mutual disdain for authority and their yearning for a life outside the stifling confines of societal expectations. Within weeks of their first meeting, Clyde was incarcerated for burglary. Undeterred by his imprisonment, Bonnie smuggled a gun into the jail, enabling Clyde to escape. This daring act solidified their commitment to one another, marking the beginning of their life on the run. The escape, a testament to their unwavering loyalty and Bonnie's unwavering devotion, cemented their status as a formidable duo, defying the law and challenging the very foundations of social order. Their love story, intertwined with their criminal exploits, would become a defining aspect of their legend, captivating the public imagination and fueling the mythology surrounding their Bonnie and Clyde. The escape from jail marked a turning point for Bonnie and Clyde. No longer content with petty theft, they embarked on a crime spree that would span several states, leaving a trail of terror and bloodshed in its wake. Their gang, initially composed of Clyde's brother Buck and his wife Blanche, along with various other associates, evolved into a ruthless, well-armed unit, feared by law enforcement and captivating the public's imagination. Their early exploits focused on robbing small-town stores and gas stations, targeting establishments they perceived as symbols of an oppressive economic system. These robberies, while relatively minor in scale, provided the gang with much-needed funds and honed their skills in armed robbery and evasion tactics. However, their crimes soon escalated in both frequency and audacity. Bank robberies became a regular occurrence, pitting the gang against heavily armed guards and attracting the attention of law enforcement agencies across the country. The Barrow gang's modus operandi involved meticulous planning, swift execution, and a reckless disregard for human life. Their willingness to use violence set them apart from other criminal gangs operating during this era, contributing to their notoriety and the aura of fear that surrounded them. The gang's notoriety grew with each successful heist, attracting a mix of admiration and fear from a public struggling to survive the Great Depression. Their exploits, widely reported in newspapers and radio broadcasts, transformed them into anti-establishment icons, symbols of rebellion against a system perceived as rigged against the common man. Their life on the run was a whirlwind of adrenaline-fueled heists, narrow escapes, and fleeting moments of normalcy. Despite the constant threat of capture and the ever-present shadow of violence, Bonnie and Clyde remained devoted to each other, their love story unfolding against a backdrop of chaos and uncertainty. They found solace in their shared experiences, their bond strengthened by their mutual defiance of societal norms, and their unwavering commitment to their chosen path. Photographs from this era depict a couple deeply in love, their affection for each other evident in their shared smiles and intimate embraces. They reveled in the notoriety their exploits brought, posing for staged photographs with their stolen vehicles and weapons, seemingly oblivious to the danger that lurked around every corner. Bonnie, in particular, embraced the limelight, penning poems that romanticized their life of crime and celebrating their outlaw status. Their love story, however, was far from a fairy tale romance. The constant pressure of evading capture, the escalating violence of their crimes, and the ever-present threat of betrayal took a toll on their relationship. Yet their bond remained unbreakable, their love serving as a beacon of hope amidst the darkness that surrounded them. Their story, a testament to the enduring power of love in the face of adversity, continues to fascinate and intrigue us, prompting us to question the nature of their connection and the motivations behind their unwavering devotion. As the Barrow gang's notoriety grew, so did their audacity. Their crime spree escalated to new heights, targeting banks, police arsenals, and even kidnapping law enforcement officials. Their willingness to use violence became a defining characteristic. marking a distinct shift from the romanticized image often portrayed in popular culture. While early accounts often depicted Bonnie as a reluctant accomplice, historical evidence suggests her active participation in the gang's criminal activities, shattering the myth of the innocent bystander caught in Clyde's web of crime. The gang's reign of terror extended far beyond their robbery sprees. They were implicated in the murders of several law enforcement officers, their reputation for ruthlessness solidifying their status as public enemies number one. The Joplin shootout, a fierce gun battle with police in Missouri, left 2 officers dead and further cemented their image as hardened criminals. This event, widely publicized in newspapers and radio broadcasts, shocked the nation and intensified the manhunt for the elusive outlaws. The escalation in violence, coupled with their blatant disregard for authority, transformed public perception of Bonnie and Clyde. The initial fascination with their exploits gave way to fear and condemnation. No longer seen as Robin Hood-esque figures fighting for the downtrodden, they were now viewed as a genuine threat to public safety, their actions demanding a swift and decisive response from law enforcement. Their story, once a source of amusement and vicarious thrill for a public struggling with economic hardship, became a cautionary tale, a stark reminder of the destructive power of unchecked ambition and the fragility of life in a world grappling with uncertainty. Media sensationalism played a pivotal role in shaping public perception of Bonnie and Clyde. Newspapers, eager to capitalize on the public's fascination with the outlaw couple, published sensationalized accounts of their exploits, often blurring the lines between fact and fiction. Photographs of the couple posing with their stolen vehicles and weapons circulated widely, further romanticized their image, transforming them into anti-establishment icons for a public disillusioned with the status quo. Bonnie, aware of the media's influence, actively cultivated their public image. She penned poems that glorified their life of crime, crafting a narrative that portrayed them as victims of circumstance, forced into a life outside the law by a system rigged against them. These poems, widely circulated and often published alongside newspaper accounts of their crimes, further solidified their image as rebellious figures, challenging the social and economic injustices of the era. The media's portrayal of Bonnie and Clyde, while undeniably sensationalized, reflected the anxieties of a nation grappling with the Great Depression. Their exploits provided a much-needed distraction from the harsh realities of everyday life, offering a vicarious thrill and a sense of rebellion against a system perceived as unjust. Their story, skillfully manipulated by a media eager to capitalize on public sentiment, transformed them into folk heroes, symbols of a deep-seated dissatisfaction with the established order. The relentless pursuit of Bonnie and Clyde by law enforcement agencies across several states culminated in a meticulously planned ambush on May 23, 1934, on a rural road in Bienville Parish, Louisiana. Texas Ranger Frank Hamer, a seasoned lawman with a reputation for tenacity, spearheaded the operation, assembling a posse of 6 officers determined to bring the notorious outlaws to justice. The ambush, a carefully orchestrated trap, left no room for escape. As Bonnie and Clyde approached the designated location in their stolen Ford 5.8, the posse unleashed a barrage of gunfire, riddling the vehicle with bullets. The couple, caught completely off guard, had no chance to retaliate. The hail of bullets ended their reign of terror, their bodies riddled with wounds, a testament to the brutality of the ambush and the unwavering determination of the law enforcement officers involved. The news of their demise spread like wildfire, captivating the nation and bringing an end to their 4-year crime spree. The ambush site became a macabre spectacle, attracting crowds eager to catch a glimpse of the slain outlaws. The public's fascination with Bonnie and Clyde, far from waning with their deaths, intensified, transforming them into martyrs for a generation disillusioned with the status quo. Their story, forever etched in American folklore, serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder of the destructive power of unchecked ambition and the enduring allure of a life outside the law. The deaths of Bonnie and Clyde marked the end of an era, but their story continued to captivate the public imagination. Their portrayal in popular culture oscillated between romanticized depictions of rebellious lovers and stark reminders of their violent crimes. The public, grappling with the complexities of their legacy, struggled to reconcile the romanticized image of the outlaw couple with the brutal reality of their actions. In the immediate aftermath of their deaths, Bonnie and Clyde were often portrayed as victims of circumstance, driven to crime by the economic hardships of the Great Depression. Their rebellious spirit, their defiance of authority, resonated with a public disillusioned with the status quo. They became symbols of resistance, their story offering a vicarious thrill and a sense of solidarity with those struggling to survive. However, as time passed and the romanticism surrounding their exploits faded, a more nuanced understanding of their legacy emerged. Historians and biographers, delving into the factual accounts of their crimes, shed light on the brutality and senseless violence that characterized their reign of terror. The public, confronted with the stark reality of their actions, began to question the romanticized narratives that had dominated their perception. The debate surrounding their legacy continues to this day, a testament to the enduring fascination with their story and the challenges of reconciling their romanticized image with the harsh realities of their crimes. The Ballad of Bonnie and Clyde, a tale woven from ambition, desperation, and a love forged in the crucible of crime, continues to fascinate and intrigue us decades after their violent demise. Their story, a cautionary tale steeped in the social and economic anxieties of the Great Depression, serves as a testament to the enduring power of myth-making and the complexities of human nature. Their exploits, romanticized in popular culture, offer a glimpse into a tumultuous era, a period marked by economic hardship and a deep-seated disillusionment with the established order. Their rebellious spirit, their defiance of authority, resonated with a public yearning for change, transforming them into symbols of resistance against a system perceived as unjust. However, their story is also a stark reminder of the destructive power of unchecked ambition and the consequences of a life lived outside the boundaries of societal norms. The legacy of Bonnie and Clyde remains a subject of debate, their romanticized image often clashing with the brutal reality of their crimes. Their story challenges us to confront the complexities of human nature, the blurred lines between good and evil, and the enduring allure of a life lived on the edge. Their tale, forever etched in American folklore, serves as a cautionary reminder of the seductive power of rebellion and the importance of confronting the consequences of our actions.